everyone, I'm Nivethitha, a PTE specialist here at Y-Axis, and we are going to discuss PTE essay. So in the last video, we have already covered the introduction to PTE essay, the gradation and the scoring. In case you have not watched the last video, please do watch it and come back to this video. Right. So in this video, I'm going to take you all through the types of essays you can expect in the essay writing of PTE, which is in part 1, writing module and speaking module. It is a combination, you already know that. And by understanding the types of essays, you would know how to approach them. So what are the options to approach the essay, how you can develop the content. So everything will be sorted only when you know the types of essays that can be expected. And the first type is opinion based. So you'll be given a viewpoint and you're going to take a stance. So when you are taking a stance, you'll have to understand what type of opinion they need. There are two variations to it when it comes to opinion based. One is do you agree or disagree with the viewpoint, or to what extent do you agree or disagree? So when you have this question statement, do you agree or disagree, you have only two choices. It gives you only two choices. Yes, do you agree or disagree? So you will either completely agree or completely disagree. You cannot take a neutral stance here. Whereas if the question statement is to what extent do you agree or disagree, then to a certain extent you can agree, or to some extent you can disagree, or you can agree and disagree at the same time. So to what extent, in the sense, you have a privilege of taking a neutral stance. So if it is to what extent do you agree or disagree, even then you can completely agree or completely disagree. And the third option, to take a neutral stance to a some extent, to a greater extent, to a fewer extent. So you have that privilege. So when it comes to opinion based, always look for the question statement, whether it is do you agree or disagree, where you have only two choices, to completely agree and to completely disagree. When it comes to what extent do you agree or disagree, you have three choices. One, completely agree. Two, completely disagree. And three, you can take a neutral stance. You can discuss that, you can say that I agree with a viewpoint. At the same time, I disagree for some other reasons. Okay, so you are free to do that. And similar thing you're going to do in discuss both views and give your opinion. So here in this question type, you are going to be given two viewpoints. In all other question types, in all other essay types, you will be given only viewpoint. Obviously, in opinion based, you will be given a viewpoint and you will be asked whether you agree with that viewpoint or not. But here in discussion, as the name itself says, it is discussion, you're going to discuss two different viewpoints of the same subject. Say for an example, children's leisure activities. Some people would say the children's leisure activity should be educational. Some say it should be entertaining. So whether it is entertaining or educational, you are going to take a stance. But before that, you will have to discuss why some people think children's leisure activity should be educational and why some others think they should be entertaining. And then you will take a stand. So now when you take a stance, you have two viewpoints, right? So you can completely agree with the first viewpoint, or you can completely agree with the later viewpoint, or you can here also take a neutral stance. So to what extent do you agree or disagree? And for discussion, you are free to have three choices: completely agreeing, completely disagreeing, and taking a neutral stance. So neutral stance is possible only in discussion. And to what extent, not in do you agree or disagree. Now, the third one is advantages and disadvantages. Here also you'd be given a point, okay, a viewpoint, and you are not going to take a stance. So when it comes to advantages and disadvantages, and the next one as well, problems and solutions, or causes or solutions, you are not going to take any opinion. You're not going to take any stance. Something is already happening. Nowadays, parents put too much pressure on children. Okay. What are the advantages and disadvantages? That's all. You're not going to argue. Yes, I agree this happens, or I don't agree this happens. No, this is already happening, because of which, what are the pros, what are the cons? Similarly, you will be given a viewpoint and you're not going to support that viewpoint. You're not going to say whether you are supporting it or you're against that. You will just discuss the problems and the solutions, or causes and the solution. So sometimes it would be problems and solutions. Sometimes it would be causes and solutions. Anyway, if you are going to discuss a problem, you will eventually talk about the causes of the same as well. So problems and causes you will discuss together and solutions separately. Okay, so you're not going to say whether you agree or disagree, you will just discuss. So this is already happening. But since it is happening, what can be the causes, or what can be the problems that people face, or what can be the cause for this to happen? So you will discuss that, and what can be the solution, how to overcome the same. Okay, and when it comes to double questions, here also you will get a viewpoint, but as the name itself says, you will get two sub questions along with the viewpoint. So you will just have to answer these two sub questions, and these two sub questions are nothing but a combination of any of the above mentioned four essay types. Say for an instance, weddings have become expensive these days. The viewpoint is, nowadays weddings have become expensive. The first sub question, what do you think is the reason? Second sub question, do you think it is a positive or a negative development? What do you think is the reason? That is the first sub question, which is nothing but the causes. The second one, do you think it is a positive or a negative development, which is nothing but agree or disagree. So the two sub questions you get in the double question essay type will just be a combination of any of the other four essay types. So you are going to discuss those two sub questions separately. You will never discuss. So if it is advantages, disadvantages, or problems and solutions, or two questions, you're not going to put together, and you're not going to write one lengthy paragraph. There is a structure that you need to follow. But before that, you should know what are the options you have to develop the content, right? So these are the five essay types. Any essay can be expected. So you cannot ask me, okay, Nivethitha, tell me, is advantages, disadvantages most likely to appear? Maybe, maybe not. We do not know. You have only five essay types, and it is not that difficult. So you will have to first understand what type of, when you read the question statement, you will have to understand what type of essay it is. Only then will you be able to gather points, will you be able to develop the content as per the structure, right? So I hope these essay types would be clear to you now. And in the next video, we are going to discuss the structure. So every essay type has got a structure, almost similar, but that is a difference. So that's what we are going to discuss in our next video. So please do watch that. Thank you.